Hello, and welcome to DevClassOps. It nearly worked this time. Yeah, it's kicked you out though. Ghost in the machine. I think I can force you in. We'll find out. Is that? Yeah, there we go. Forced you in. Right. So welcome to our stream tonight. We will be kind of looking back at what we've done in a weird way and going, this is not built in the way it should be. So we're going to go through and refactor some of our Ansible code that we made.
It's surprising how much duct tape gets left behind whenever you're building anything from scratch.
Yeah, and also when you sort of do it in a Monday evening and go, oh, I'll fix it in the week, close computer, don't open it again until next Monday.
Now, hour a week is not a lot of time.
No, so we're going to go back to some of the earlier days and kind of fix things or make them better.
You say that, but the first thing we're going to do is deal with TLS, which is the first thing like the last thing we've done.
We're going back slowly. We're going to eventually get to the very start, which I think console was the first one we did.
Consoles was the first thing we did in this format.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I want to do, which I don't know what the tweets and stuff came out with, is I want to try and make our code using Ansible Remote, because we currently use Packer to build our client images. So it runs with its client code. And it doesn't, well, I think it just runs the Nomad client code, but it runs some of the subset of the code. But it's in two places. One is here, one is the Packer code, which means the Packer code is out of date. So as part of doing this, moving out to remote, so both of our resources can connect to the same remote repo.
Yeah, that single source of truth is always good when you can achieve it.
Yeah, and make this less like, here's 100 folders. So hopefully by the end of today, or end of day plus a bit, there will be no folders here. It will be shipped away.
I'd be very impressed if we clean that all up in a day.
You mean within 1 hour?
Within 1 hour.
That's impossible.
So 8-hour stream next time, right? And you're going to just sit there and go through all of them.
Yeah,
that is
on a Saturday.
That's definitely a Saturday. I don't know, games aren't working or something. Well, let's just do some.
It's when we go and spin up our server, it's completely broken. It's like, well, I guess we've got 4 hours to stream, so time to fix.
All right. Well, talking of not enough time, let's get into it. So I need to interrupt yourself. So, oh yeah, I'm in the new location. So this is where we're going to make a code. I realized we have 28 repos in DCO.
Wow.
Of which I think we used 3 of them. So maybe off-stream thing is cleaning them up. But we are going to create new repos for everything else, for the new things we're doing. So we're going to go DCO, service name, Ansible for all our Ansible roles. And
that way, if we ever get around to publishing them, it'll be easy for everyone to find them.
Yes. I think I can just go Ansible Galaxy init -- init path roles, and then it needs to be the name of the role we've already got, which is TLS. This is going to give us some boilerplate stuff. I've not actually looked at what the boilerplate gives us. I'm curious if it's going to be worth it. Have I missed something else? No, it is just doing that. So if I go into my everything folder,
as these all of our repos.
This is all the DCO repos I've got downloaded. This isn't quite all of them. So it's given us like the handler file, template file, tests. Well, that's something for the future.
quickly delete that and pretend we've never seen.
Bars, readme. It's a nice readme. Okay. So this is kind of what it all looks like. That's called like Galaxy information. I messed with this earlier and it complained to me that I didn't have a main.yaml file, so I made a meta.yaml file there, a meta main.yaml file. And then it was like, yeah, cool. I'm happy now. It can be empty. So this is interesting. We got all the like author.
Do you know what the meta's for?
This is for the Galaxy. So if we were going to do it properly and you host it within Ansible Galaxy, this would be the information that it pulls in. I think.
Yeah, I have. Most of the time when I've been using Ansible, I've been in a place where the outside is locked off and they haven't been bothered to clone like Galaxy inside.
So I'm just going to delete all this stuff.
Isn't it?
Oh, it says like supported platforms. So if you only want to be like Ansible and these sort of things, that's cool. We can get this stuff back. I'm not caring too much. On dependencies, you depend on other roles.
This is where we just migrate all of our roles into other roles, and then they're all dependent on each other and don't do any refactoring.
Yeah, it's a massive tree. I will add actual. I will make this more correct in the future. I mean, this technically it should be that. I will care about this in the future. Sweet. So that's meta version, and then defaults. Is that like variable defaults?
I think so. It's been a while since.
It's the like, oh yeah, this is all this cool stuff. This is all new. And there's no like, oh yeah, because it's tasks. Oh yeah, tasks and templates. So the next step is if I go into here and then go to here, and then I go copy, paste. Yay, Windows. I say Windows, that's probably more of a W or something. So if I delete you, God, Windows is so big, and there's no. So that is a task. These are all our templates. It's worth saying, annoyingly, this folder structure needs to be preserved. So we are going to have repos that look like this. But we should have README as well. But.
That's fine. I had a look at the defaults, and essentially the way it looks like it is just another place you can define variables, but it has the absolute lowest priority in the list.
Oh, okay, nice. So things that you should probably update, but
yeah, if you don't.
In regards to variables, so is when we now call the remote role is where we now pass in the variables in, right?
So as it stands,
the values for the variables.
So yeah, I would like the TLS config and TLS email. I would like to move them into this vars block. But as it stands, this is
With
all we need to do.
values?
You see?
Okay. No, as in, are you moving those with the values in there as well?
So you'd move this one with value, this one without value. So you'd have the email as maybe like a.b or something, just to like
test
an example.
Replaceme.com or something.
Yeah. And then TLS config is correct, which I suppose I can do. I mean, it's delete random things, yeah.
And then go and delete your .git file.
Yeah, so this is used for Let's Encrypt, and Let's Encrypt is used everywhere. It's used in bots. Oh, it's not. They're only used in their own. Oh yeah, no, but these things are used everywhere, aren't they? No?
I think the cert chain is
no
not full chain. There we go.
Oh yeah, full chain and proof key are used. So I'm not gonna. I suppose this is the problem where everything's very interlinked still. So I think I'm going to get this remote. I think we should get all remote, and then we should think about our variables.
But the thing is, these are all let's encrypt variables. Or I guess we don't really. The path to them isn't.
I mean, the console ones should this. Yeah, should be a variable, but at a higher level, we should do things. I don't know if you can output from roles. I assume you can't.
I don't think it really works like that, unfortunately.
But in which case, we should have defaults here, but probably pass them in at the higher level.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to see if this remote works, so I'm going to push this up and go from there. Git status, git.
The instruction you're looking at from 2022, so I'm intrigued.
Ansible hasn't changed that much since then.
Yeah, I don't think it ever always have any form of output by the looks of things, which makes sense from the way it's structured.
Yeah, I don't think they would. Yeah. Oh, DCO. Was it the commit that failed? It was the commit that failed.
One day you'll have Git working with WSL.
I don't know how much I care. I mean, that one was an easy one. I just had to set my global and email username. That wouldn't have been a hard fix. Okay, where is my? Okay, I want to manually prove that it's okay. It is on Git. I can see it on Git. Now, I didn't get as far as like fully testing it, but if I go into this requirements file, you can see I was kind of messing around with earlier and setting up just Vault hitting itself.
Yeah.
So if I do that, and then the name is TLS, the location is there. And I think this is all I need to do.
I'd be curious if it can hit the private repo automatically. Or will it just impersonate you?
Yeah, I've added SSH keys, so it knows who I am. So this is just because it's Ansible. It's Ansible Galaxy install -r requirements YAML. If you need to install, so this is under roles, but if you need to add other things, so like community modules, is that what you can add them all. You can add them all through here if you want like hard set. I think Ansible at a level will like do it for you. But this is the way I like properly defining stuff. I'm in the wrong way. It's been a long day of debugging things. That's the proof that Git would work if I gave my username and password. Okay. So we've got starting and extracting to location, and then we've got install successfully. I think now we run Ansible playbook -i main.yaml.
Have we swapped out the role to be TLS?
Nope. I'm running the wrong Ansible ones. You don't have to. you just import it through Galaxy, and it's like, yeah, sweet, I can run this now.
I guess you deleted the old one already, so it's
delete the folder. So it is that simple. We probably want to rename the role to be DCO DCO TLS Ansible, or at least DCO TLS. So if you installed another TLS repo, it wouldn't have the issue. I don't know if I set the name here to be different, if we care, but I think that name has to match the role in the repo.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is. I'm shocked. It took me longer to write this code than it did for me to find the code on the internet. So I'm going to cancel it because we know this mostly works.
Mostly.
I just realized that there's actually probably this is very close to the only time you don't want to manually kill it is when it's dealing with encryption. It's fine.
I think you killed it before it was
I did. Yeah. If they killed it one or two steps later, it would have been an issue, I think.
I don't think that would matter. You would just have an additional key in the key ring that would then get cleaned up the next time, because it cleans up any that's not the current.
Do we want to rename this TLS to DCO TLS?
Yeah.
Because I assume if I do this, no wait, if I do this,
the bottom one. Yeah.
Now not going to work.
That should work. Or you might need to Galaxy again.
That's interesting because I haven't renamed the Galaxy. So this, so I thought this needed to match the role we were running, because there's only one.
You've renamed the role there to DCO TLS,
but not in the actual code. Not in the.
Oh, what the role is still called TLS.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised. I wonder if you can have multiple roles in one Galaxy.
There may be a role block or something. Maybe that's how it is if there's multiple roles. I can just be like, the roles. Maybe there's a manual way of doing it. Then we may find that in the next one, because the next one will be Vault, which does have multiple roles. So it will become more of a problem. But this one was nice and simple. Do we want to...
Is there anything that we need to refactor before we move on in TLS?
We can have a quick look into it. So obviously there's variables which I've not moved any variables across. Do we want to try and move some variables?
Is there anything that should be a default? I guess maybe the let's encrypt user and group should be defaulted.
Oh, these ones, yeah. They should probably be taken across.
Yes, I can't really think.
I think they are used in other places, but
we'll find out in a bit. I guess that having them as a default means that if you're running it alone, it would just go.
I mean, the actual so the correct way of doing this is to go is it vars? Well, no, the correct way of doing it is to leave this where it is.
Yeah, just copy things.
And then put that here. The users we don't need to set anywhere. Config needs to be here. Why is Cloudflare set up?
Did you do Cloudflare at some point?
It's for DNS.
did we need it to set up the DNS record for Let's Encrypt?
Yes, that's why they're here.
We don't actually need it though.
And not, well, we need them, but they're environment variables. And if they're not set, it just doesn't do that part. Yeah, because if I go task, it is.
There it is. When DNS Cloudflare API key is defined.
Yeah. It then creates the ini file. And other than that, it won't create that file. So in a weird way, this wouldn't work unless you've set that up. But this is probably some weird, like, this should only be here. Like, this bit should only be here when that's defined sort of thing as well. But that's definitely making our code less us specific.
What do you mean not everyone uses Cloudflare as their DNS?
Yeah, I mean, if you were connected to the internet, this like standalone would be just as good. But cool. So that needs to go in there. FQDN, I suppose that needs to not be.
Yeah, that shouldn't really be our email. You don't tend to put it as like support@devcastsoft.com so you can get easy inquiry about people needing help with your stuff.
Or someone's TLS is expiring in a month because they've just ran the code. Did you see there was a S3 bug? I say bug. Someone set their bucket to a name that an open source repo used as their like example name, and got charged like $20,000 in a day because for every failed request these people made to their S3 bucket, that person got charged.
Yeah.
That's why you pay for the DNS insurance, not DDoS insurance.
But no, it's like one request a day or two requests a day. Well, I mean, it was a lot of requests, but it's them hitting S3 via S3s, getting a "you're not authorized to access this bucket" response, and then the person who owns the bucket getting a charge. Unsurprisingly, AWS has changed their pricing model on that.
Yeah. When I read the article, the person was nice enough not to name the company.
They didn't name the company. They didn't say the bucket. They literally named nothing.
I wish, but if they did, the first thing I would have done is go straight to either the bucket or the company myself. Like, easy. You
could probably guess some companies like buckets if you tried hard enough. I guess it depends on is the error message that you get if the bucket doesn't exist. You get a 404 when they don't exist.
It was a 403 unauthorized.
Yeah, but if there's no bucket there, is it 404? Because if it is, you can work out when you can could have worked out.
I think it goes 403. I think AWS do like you don't have access to access non-existent bucket.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe a job to find out.
It's a sensible way to do it because otherwise you can essentially map out what does and doesn't exist by your error codes, and then in the example you just find the ones that exist with big company names, and then you just hammer that bucket and get a load of 403 errors and run up their AWS bill.
I have a feeling AWS were just like, oh yeah, this is our bad, and you just didn't charge them for it. But...
Oh, probably. But although also in the case if you did it in a big enough company and your bill was like £1,000 a day, they probably wouldn't notice.
I mean, I know some companies at AWS, £1,000 a day is barely noticeable. Okay. So that is TLS done. I now need to make a new repo for Vault. Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is going to be DCO, Vault, Ansible.
Wait, is this off screen that you're doing this, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm off screen.
Okay.
Can't show the secrets.
I'm really curious to go through all of our repos now that you've told me there's 28 of them.
Yep. It's only a job for maybe next week. Yeah.
So we have to do work next week. Oh my god.
Okay.
Work every
And
week.
then DCO, Vault, Ansible. No, you don't here. CD, DCO, Vault, Ansible. Then it was it Galaxy? I did the thing in.
Oh, it was a Galaxy in it, or something like that.
Why are you giving me encryption keys?
I hope they weren't for anything important.
Galaxy. There we go.
Was there an issue with billing with GCP before? Because I just got an email for the Devcast up.
No? I'll look into it better.
Okay.
Not something don't do.
It's also relevant anyway. It's not necessarily to us, to our billing itself. It just says Google Cloud inter-region data transfer billing gap from GCE to GCS will be fixed on August 1st.
I don't think we do inter-region data transfer.
And we don't use GC. No, wait, do we? Yeah, we do.
GCA. What's GCA?
No, GCE and GCS. GCS is Google Cloud Storage, right?
I would guess so. I don't know if this comes under storage. We don't have any buckets. We just have a couple of disks.
I realised the Vault one's going to be boring
Wow.
as well, because Vault's just a single service.
Yeah, it's the console one that's going to be the fun one.
Yeah.
What I would like to do one day would be to try and create a website in GCP, because obviously, like, it's now we know how to set that up in AWS and everything with Terraform. But I'm intrigued to see if they have something similar, like CloudFront. You know, like CloudFront equivalent in GCP. I feel like is that the same?
They will have the same thing. That's very basic one. They're sort of, I don't know what it'd be called, but it'd be their sort of edge network or edge delivery.
I should just actually copy placement meta there.
Built-in edge caching.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Or Google Cloud CDN.
Content there, that sounds closer. Content delivery network.
Yeah.
I always think the Amazon names are the weirdest ones.
But now I'm so used to it, they're not weird to me anymore.
They don't mean anything. That's their problem. This Vault TLS.
What did they mean something now? Yeah.
Are we ever going to care about this again?
What was that?
Sorry.
TLS?
So this is the Vault authenticating its own cert.
Oh no, that was just riddled with circular dependencies that would, I don't think you'd ever be able to get away from in a neat manner.
I mean, splitting this away may be the start of slowly getting away with some of our circular dependencies / needs multiple starts of manual intervention in the middle.
I don't think we have too many. I'd be intrigued to see if we just ran our code on a blank server where it would fail.
Console needs to be initted manually, and so does Nomad. And when we start having services depending on services, that's when it really starts getting trouble. So all of this stuff, crypto key, how's that for?
Vault unseal key. Did we set it up to automatically unseal?
That may be the TLS because we're not using it.
Yeah.
These are going to blank. It's good to know like what we need to pass in,
Mm,
and then because like we don't need key name. Is that something we're using?
I don't think so.
Nope. Yeah. This is all the variables it needs. We obviously don't need the user. Vault version, probably worth it.
Should we bump it? 16.2?
Sure.
Hope it doesn't break it.
Do you want to see the late? Do you want to find out the latest of the other services as well? Because we're behind.
Yeah.
Console. I'll find out in a minute. All right.
Console's
Wow.
18.2.
Damn. What's the next one? Nomad, isn't it? I think Nomad we should be fairly new.
Nomad's 18.0
No,
is in beta, or 1.8 is in beta, or 1.7.7 is probably the one we'd want to go to though.
Cool.
Okay.
Anyway, that looks like variables. We need these ones.
I say 16.2 for Vault. It's just off the top of my memory. Oh, that was
data and config. We don't actually need. Is 16.2 the latest for Vault?
It is. My memory is correct.
So that is all I think Vault needs to begin with at the moment. Things that care about let's encrypt. Oh no, oh wait, that's not. We don't use that one anymore, do we?
External TLS?
No, that's when you're doing it yourself.
Oh, yeah, with our little Raspberry Pi. Do you still have our old CA on your Raspberry Pi?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I still do. Do you need it now? No.
It makes me think that you've wiped that at some point.
No. The reason I was not sure, because obviously, as you can see, there's a rack here, and there's two of them. So I'll have to plug both of them in and find out which one has it.
Are you slowly building your Kubernetes cluster, one Pi at a time?
Nomad cluster. Do you need it now?
No, we don't need it at all. I was just curious if you still had it.
Oh, fair. I'm also curious if I saved it somewhere. I know. Maybe I saved it in my Vault cluster, which is also now down as well. So yeah.
Right.
Wasn't the smartest thing.
So I think these are just Vault needs. Version debatable whether we should hard code that into the base role or just leave it here, but leave it here for now.
So if we hard code into the base role, we can always override it when we're calling it, right? Yeah. So we can hard code.
It is being set here.
I guess it's not a terrible thing to have a default value for, because if you have it in there and set, you can say this works with this version of Vault.
Yeah, that's fair. Wipe Vault data. Sure, I'll leave that as there. And then the TLS, which at some point we'll look more into.
We don't have any data security, do we, for our Vault? It's just written to the hard drive on that server. If that server died, that would be it.
Any board security?
Like data security. Like we have no
backup of that drive. If that drive dies, then that drive's dead.
Cool.
This is what happens when you run a one node Vault cluster.
For saying that, nothing else has data security as well. The game stuff is on its own disk, but that's just so you can kill the server. If the disk dies, that's still gone.
And that's fine.
It'd be a little bit annoying, but I'm not prepared to pay for another disk just to have a backup of it. Well, I have no idea how much that disk costs us.
It's one of those things that, like, at some point in the future, I'm going to update enough of my PC. I'll have a NAS. I'll get an old PC to a NAS, so I can actually do backups from the cloud to my NAS.
With our Factorio world, I backed that up. I downloaded the world file and put it into our Git repo.
And it's small enough we can.
Yeah, I don't know how. It wasn't very big. I don't know how big it was. Check.
Just don't look how big Minecraft is.
Oh, I know that Factorio compared to Minecraft in terms of like optimization, like the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Okay, and then this one, you need to be volt DCO volt, and then you're going to be DCO volt. God, I'm just going to switch rubbish in these servers that we really don't need. Don't think we need this one, like
Google Auth.
It's for the stuff Wale was doing with the auto.
Oh, dynamic inventory that
Dynamic
only works
inventory.
on Wale's computer.
Yeah, that I've never got to work. Maybe someday I'll look into it.
It's not our fault.
Should have put it in a container. Bundled your creds in as well, so it could work for us.
Very secure.
Oh, that's the one.
Oh, and I assume people probably do already, but I imagine quite a few people accidentally leak credentials by copying everything into a Docker file and uploading it to Docker Hub.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, when you're creating volumes.
Yeah, or like when you're moving things, it's just like copy from dot to.
And
Or
I like
not.
to use dot to save
Or-
code.
Or not thinking about the where should things run. Ooh.
Failed. Undefined variable. That's encrypt group.
Which is interesting because it's defined here. Oh wait, yes, I understand why. It's because everything joins the Let's Encrypt group. So this is actually we need this there.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's
Did it fail in?
no, it was
Failed in TLS.
DCO TLS. Which is weird because it surely the group's the first thing. This is literally the first thing it does. All right, so it's not loading these variables.
Try putting them in defaults instead. Did you push your code?
Oh, yeah, I need to do that now.
I have a feeling that may have just been not pushed.
This all gets so much more complicated now.
No, that was a good question. Now use a dot. There you go. That's how you put in your credentials as well.
Now you do commit-am and then just push. Which I guess commit/am is slightly safer than git add dot.
No, because they actually, yeah, that's true. Because they commit am doesn't include new files.
Yeah, so only modify.
Yeah. So
Git commit add files.
well.
Oh,
You might just need a dash upgrade or something like that.
I'm gonna have to do a version. Like there's versions as well. Yeah, I mean there might be a way of.
Or like full force pull.
Yeah.
Just delete the Galaxy repo and do it again. Because it clones them locally.
You remember where it was?
It will be in that repository somewhere.
No, it was like local to me.
How is that?
How useful all this rubbish is. Yeah, it's like here / like. And your name is this long. God damn it. It's like there, Ansible. And there's Galaxy Cache. Oh no, there's walls. Someday I'll remember my.
Have you ever run rm-rf/ on a server?
Yeah, it tells you to go away. there is a no preserve root if you really want to, but
yeah. That little safety check to make sure you don't wipe your entire server.
that's what I played about.
I'll try that on my Raspberry Pi, see what it says.
It's now when you realise we're messing with you and you just wipe a Pi for the hell of it.
So reinstall.
That's fine. I have an Ansible playbook for setting up on my Pi, so I don't mind.
Won't we give us our CA though?
How long did we set that CA to live? Remember?
Probably not that long. No, hang on. Well,
Maybe check out Discord. Maybe it's in there as well, since we keep everything in Discord. It might be in there.
okay. So this has worked.
Cool, problem
I
solved.
did just need to push the code up. Now we need to make sure the vault code works.
Forbidden.
Not overriding. The FQDN. This FQDN isn't overriding this one.
I would say just run them all in defaults then instead, because that forces the priority to be lowest.
And then I'm gonna up. Why is there no version? I was hoping I could just update the version, but no. Okay. Git.
It's when you alias this all to do it in one line and pass through your commit message at the same time.
Well, along with the git status, so you can see you're pushing the secrets up.
Yeah, I think I'd appreciate it more if you did have the status in there, so you hit the button. There's nothing you could do to stop it, but you saw what you did.
Now this is the dangerous stuff.
It's been a while since I've had a good git blame like such.
Ansible. Galaxy. What was the Galaxy command? It was
like init with requirements and stuff.
This. Oh, there's a force. Oh, force will overwrite the current one.
Yeah, perfect. You're in the right repo.
Probably spell. Oh no, I do YAML, whereas they do. I like to write YAMLs full. Okay.
I don't get why I know why file extensions can have the same file can have two different ones, but it kind of really illustrates the point of why they don't matter.
Yep. Kind of glad we have actually had some issues and have to like see what the hell's happening.
Yeah, I think it's actually something that I might be able to take back to work, because we had a similar thing where variables are sometimes being overwritten but not other times, and I think if we changed it to default it would then
it worked.
Fix our problems. Oh yeah, we'll have a new version of Vault, won't we?
Oh yeah, this is actually doing things. Oh, we are using Keenan.
Oh, because it's for the GCP auto unseal. The Vault auto unseals, right?
Yeah. You're right.
You got it back, yeah. So is this key name they wanted? It's interesting if you just put it in the Ansible.
No, it does need crypto key.
Crypto key.
I want to do the same thing for these.
Yeah, it does make you question why you'd ever use vars over default in a role.
It may be that vars can be overridden by like if you pass the vars through to the role itself instead of the global vars.
If you use extra vars, they have the highest precedent.
Yeah, or if through main I put the vars here. So if I did like vars or however you add variables at like that stage, may override the. I mean, it makes sense because you don't want to accidentally override one of these variables. Okay. Yeah, we need both of these for GCP stuff. Maybe we should comment things more usefully.
Yeah, like auto unseal key and path,
Yeah,
whatever.
I can do this now. GCP. Auto unseal. I would also quite like if we get the time to make it so it's got like all the steel blocks and just like whichever one you pick uses that one.
I can't remember if any of them are locked behind the enterprise license. I have a funny feeling HSMs are.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as supporting the ones that are behind a license, but I mean, you can write the code, just never test it.
Just the way I like it. I can't remember what I was doing. It was a little while back. I was writing some code and I just wrote, I think it's like 1,000 lines of code before testing any of it and just hit go and it worked. And I was like, oh my goodness.
That is surprising.
I know. I didn't trust it. I thought it had broken in a way that didn't error.
Did you run it a few times just to make sure there's actually no issues with it?
It was modifying something, so I went and checked to see if the thing it was modifying had come out in the way I expected, and it had.
Oh, that's good.
Slowly getting more efficient than ChatGPT.
So, I mean, some of these, like what we could do is that these ones we could just change to user and group.
Yeah.
And put them as vars instead of defaults. So just generally, like anything that starts with Vault is like Vault specific. And you don't, maybe I'll move the TLS which you want to change, but most of these you wouldn't really want to change for anything. So maybe at that point you would, because I don't like, it's a thing that's only got roles calling it Vault anything. I think that's a bit messy.
Yeah, at that level, they're clearly for Vault if they're only within the Vault role.
But we can edit that. So I suppose either we can edit all this to be non-Vault role.
Yeah, let's tidy that up now. Because I think the next one on my list is console, and that's going to take considerably longer than.
Yep. I'm going to change the way I'm opening this, so I can search without any problems. Why have you opened like this? God, seriously, I can't.
Welcome.
Okay, roles. So we want to change our defaults. So things that are, so that's not going to be a default.
Yeah, that would be a var and just called wipe data.
Yeah.
Can we change it? Yeah, wipe data is fine.
What would you rather? I mean, I can change it wherever we want. Ah, welcome. The Drax Prince.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's wipe data. Oh, this is something like reinitialize, but no, wiping makes more sense.
Cool. Version. So these go written by the group vars.
Yeah, I think that should be something that you can overwrite with group vars.
So default you start with Vault?
Yes, that makes sense.
Drax Prince, it's going well. How are you going? We should have to remember how to be streamers now. People are talking to us.
Chat. See us mess around with all of this.
So this stuff I'm going to change to vars and just call config and data.
You're going to try and force those standards on anyone that uses this.
I mean, it's not directly forcing. I just think that
No,
at a level where it's not.
I think that makes sense because most of the time people don't care where the stuff is installed as long as it's a sensible path.
Yeah. Wow, you have a friend.
That's dinner, guys. That's dinner.
As in the person in chat.
So your delivery drivers come by to tell you on Twitch to go get food.
Oh snap! Okay. Hey, that's my brother. Yeah.
Well, support is always welcome.
Yeah, man. I thought
The way I'm moving this to, I feel like I'm not going to move any of it to. I'm not going to want any of it to be group files, and it's all just going to be in these like role blocks.
Yeah, I guess you could, if you had group files, you could pass them to the role block. So you could specify the var as a group var if you needed to override it that way.
Because like all of this stuff, I'm like, I'd kind of just rather it go here, and then just like. So everything is so much cleaner not having Vault in front of it.
The OCD is me putting things back in bars. I guess we'll move it all across and then we can have to work out how to override it because it wasn't taken beforehand.
I don't think it's OCD. I think it's like you go one way and then you work out what's better, and then you go another way and you kind of jump around a little bit. I can't. Is it just in here I go like vars? Is it just like that?
Having a look. You can give it a go while I Google, see if trial and error beats research.
Oh. So I think it's just like that, and I can just delete this file. Ooh. Yeah, I mean that's. I don't know how. I don't know if any of this is actually going to like prove anything.
Yeah, it looks like you can just define it under the role.
In the vars block.
Yeah, in a vars block.
Well, if the TLS stops working, we'll know why.
Hopefully it was.
Well, it's the config shouldn't change. If the config changes, I'll be worried.
It's just I don't want to use our final minutes to be doing debugs. So
You want to see green all the way to the end, do you?
yeah. Pivot directory.
Well, dated the.
Oh, she missed one.
I wonder why I didn't pick that one up.
I must have just not done the find replace correctly. Oh no, I just didn't do a find replace of data.
Trying to type quickly and just putting the spaces in the wrong places. You just end up going slower if you take the time and be careful.
Mash the spacebar. I don't know if I gave this long enough to populate the change, but
Now we'll find out.
that's funny. I could run a bash script that just puts all the repos in the right location locally to test it without having to go through Git if I really cared.
Could you just have your source and your Galaxy role be local?
Yeah, I think so.
Should probably be a good way to, if you were doing development, to test it.
Oh, change the config. Don't like it back to change the config.
Is Vault at dev cost ops still up?
No. Really? Can't. Wow, I don't have. Oh, SSH. Oh no, SSH via PowerShell. No, I don't. SSH 10.7.
10.2.0, sorry, 2.0.7 6.
6.6.
You need to do it with your user at.
Oh, no. Oh yeah, no. I need to do it like this.
SSH.
Just very rush and just do everything wrong. Oh, it's what do you? No. So that hasn't worked. Or
You're okay. So the way where you have roles,
yep.
You want a colon after DCO.
Like there.
I think you want, yeah, roles, and then colon role dash role. So replace DCO vault with role.
Yep.
Colon DCO vault.
Yep.
And then under that, have a vars block, and yeah, indented. There you go.
You told me I just did my code wrong.
I looked at it and so I was like, oh, it's vars, and didn't. I was googling while you were coding.
Yeah, that's fine.
Didn't come back.
I did think that what I'd done was wrong. I just didn't have any concept of why.
I'm surprised it didn't throw a YAML error. Normally they're more fussy about that. But...
No, so it may it may work just at a different
Different set of
hierarchy,
bars.
or a different hierarchy than what we're dealing with. Because it's quite like this is just on the roll, so this should be pretty up there when it comes to
It's updated it again.
SQL hierarchy, which is good. I'm actually on the server now. I can just go boom. Yeah. So Vault should now work. Yep.
Cool.
Immediately.
Right.
I love the fact I've still not been logged off Vault because our tokens are just stupidly low.
I guess we should probably wrap it up there. I don't want to let Wally's food get too cold.
Use me as an excuse to leave early.
Early,
is it?
on time.
On time. Perfectly on time.
If you want, we can stay late and carry on. My food's not at the door.
Yeah, there's console to do.
We can carry on another time.
This doesn't have Bootstrap key, which is why this is out, if you're curious.
Fair enough. Right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. And we will probably be doing more of this next week because it's something that we
Give
should
the difficult
do.
one next week.
Yeah, and see how all the roles fit together. So I guess follow on Twitch and like and subscribe on YouTube, and you'll be able to catch us when we go live, and you can see us doing the other bit of this. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.